Why were the strikes on Iran prescient? What was the straw that was going to break the camel's back? That Trump needed to send out forces ASAP. I don't think there was one, to be straight. Well, let me give a little more context here for people who may not be familiar. What was the pressing reason Trump struck Iran with Israel? When and the way he did it? The reason for the way he did it, I don't think even matters in the 21st century. Mark Halperin said it himself on Two-Way, I believe. This is the 21st century. We don't go to Congress to declare war. The AUMF was only a symptom of unity during the post 9/11 world, and that's just not the world we live in anymore. There's Article 2, where the president can claim, I don't think it's right, can claim to just do whatever he wants with the army. And that's it. And then Congress could go pound sand. The reason Trump went in was because he wanted to. There was no, Secretary Rubio says Israel was going in without us, and then they would have attacked American bases. And then Speaker Johnson said a different reason. And then the vice president said a different reason. And then Netanyahu on Sean Hannity said a different reason. It doesn't matter. Think of it. What is the reason? I'm talking about legally. I'm not talking about among political opinion. Legally, the reason why it doesn't matter is because what's Congress going to do? Congress can pass a war powers resolution restricting the use of armed forces. And if Trump doesn't listen, could Congress take away command of the military? Will Congress be impeaching a president, a Republican one nonetheless, during a war? Think of the practical implications of stopping Trump from doing what he's doing with the armed forces. Anyways, the reason Trump went in my opinion, is very, very simple. Iran is not negotiating in good faith. Iran is going after uranium enrichment. They're going after the bomb, and nothing stopped them so far. They tried the JCPOA. That was a bad deal, and that would have been long expired by now, which would have unshackled the regime to go full force towards a bomb. Set and done. They tried the bunker-busting bombs in July. Trump said, if you continue working on it, I will come back. They continued working on it. Satellite imagery confirms that they were doing something, and they claim their intelligence says they were working on it off-site. Fine. The mass protests happen in Iran. They swat down and kill 20 to 30,000 of their own people, so the people are fired up. And the regime is much weakened by Israel's actions towards them since 10/7. So this was an opportunity not only to take away their armament, but also regime change. You ask me, the regime change is the cherry on top. This armament is really the main goal. But like Admiral Stavridis said, you can't take away their knowledge on how to create a nuclear bomb without killing them all, killing the government all. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. And Trump simply saw an opportunity, and he's jumping on that opportunity. I don't know why. Well, okay. So take that as it is, right? There is an opportunity to replace this regime and disarm this regime while they are weak. What is the problem with that? The problem with that is then he should have sought out counsel from Congress. He sat up there for almost 2 hours in the State of the Union where he could have laid out the case. But unfortunately, I think Congress has long abandoned that duty. And we live in an age where Congress just doesn't authorize use of military force anymore. That's, it comes at no surprise. I am for the strikes. But what I am not for is Congress abdicating their duty. Congress abdicating their duty is, I think, a national point of embarrassment just because of their dysfunction. It goes back to the Dan Crenshaw point. If Dan Crenshaw cannot keep his job by being a nuanced guy, and this is not exactly somebody who's in the middle, he's like a nuanced right winger. How can we expect Congress to be consulted. If the plurality of us aren't even in that ideological camp of ultra right or ultra left, that's crazy. And that's where I stand on it. That's where I stand on it.